Bows are a very niche weapon in a Guardian's arsenal. It's the kind of thing you either love or hate. Me, I'm a bow aficionado, so it goes without saying that I am very excited for the Leviathan's Breath. Bows were introduced into Destiny 2 at the start of the Forsaken expansion over 1 year ago, and I've been obsessed with them ever since. I have 11 Masterwork bows in my vault, and some people would say I have a problem. I like to think of myself as a collector. As an avid bow user, my expectations for the Leviathan's Breath are very high, but the question is, will they be met or will the bullseye be missed? That's what we're going to talk about in today's exotic review. Let's get started. The Leviathan's Breath's exotic trait is Big Game Hunter. It uses heavy ammo and fires a heavy bolt that staggers unshielded enemies and puts unstoppable champions into a down state for a few seconds. Its next exotic trait is Leviathan's Sigh. When fully drawn, your bolt creates a concussive blast that knocks enemies back. This weapon is pure unfiltered shenanigans, and it's conceptually insane, and as such it's made a lot of concessions in effectiveness. Unlike bows that use primary ammo and little puny arrows, the Leviathan's Breath and its harpoon-sized bolts require a lot of tension to deliver their payload effectively. Your draw time is a massive 1,328 milliseconds. The average draw time on a precision bow is about 700 milliseconds, and lightweight bows can go as low as 540. With that said, the incredibly long draw time is forgivable because this is a heavy weapon and I'm expecting this oversized beast to decimate enemies if I can land a hit in the right spot. It does, but not as much as I would have hoped. With the amount of effort my Guardian puts in to knock an arrow, pull back on the string, and shoot, I expected half of the universe to be destroyed with each shot. Instead, I get a nice chunk of damage with the added benefit of being able to stun lock bosses if I land my follow-up successfully. It's a bit disappointing because I wasn't planning on needing a follow-up shot. Thankfully though, it seems like Banshee 44 knew you would need more than one arrow to take down the biggest bad guys. With 2 arrow reserve mods on an arc chest piece, your maximum reserve capacity is 12 arrows. With an arrow scavenger on your boots, you'll pick up 5 shots per ammo brick, and with an ammo finder, you'll get 3 shots from the bonus bricks. Without a scavenger perk, your pickups are much worse and the weapon's value goes down tremendously, but if you're kitted accordingly, you'll be in possession of a versatile heavy weapon. But here's the problem. If versatility is what you're after, the Leviathan's Breath isn't going to feel right. It's too cumbersome. If you want a weapon that'll be there and ready to fire at every moment's notice, you should turn your attention to the Vanguard and their pinnacle weapon, the Windigo Gl3. This legendary grenade launcher outshines the exotic Leviathan's Breath consistently, only falling short when there are unstoppable champions around. The reason for its superior status is the magazine perk Blinding Grenades. Enemies damaged by a shot from the Wendigo will be blinded and unable to fight back for several seconds. While the biggest bad guys won't be affected by this status effect, minor and major enemies that don't get instantly destroyed by a grenade will be easy pickings for your primary and special weapons. Meanwhile, bosses will be torn apart by the Wendigo's main trait, Explosive Light. Picking up Orbs of Light increases the weapon's damage and blast radius, and this can be stored for up to 6 shots. As if this all-in-one package didn't sound amazing already, the second trait is Auto-Loading Holster, so again, it will always be ready to fire. It's a bit of a shame that a legendary weapon is outperforming the Leviathan's Breath on so many fronts, but if I'm honest, there's still a little something special about this exotic bow that has me wanting to use it despite it being impractical. It's a giant bow. It uses a chain instead of a drawstring. My Titan struggles to knock an arrow and pull the string all the way back. It's so fucking silly, and for that reason alone, I'll take it into strikes, I'll use it in the Crucible, and I'll even sneak it into the Garden of Salvation and deal with the disapproving stares of my fire team. So look, my point is, the Leviathan's Breath is a bit of a disappointment because it isn't the god killer I thought it would be. But it's a serviceable weapon, and it's got more than a few contexts in which it shines. And there we go, that's going to do it for the exotic review of the Leviathan's Breath. It's a bit unfortunate that this weapon is not doing as much damage as it feels like it should, because it's such a fun weapon to use, but for now, it's just going to be a bit of a novelty that I take out from time to time when I want to get silly. So with all of that said, if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to support the channel more than you already do just by watching, liking, subscribing, and commenting, you can head over to patreon.com/iBluairJgR to become a patron. As always, the name of the game is Destiny 2, the name of the channel is iBluairJgR. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.